They put me right on live. All right, everybody. I know y'all rocking with Lex. I hope y'all enjoying this full moon in Capricorn. This full moon in the 10th sign. So everybody, before we get into this, make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrostetics. This is my second book, and it's 500 pages long. And you see I'm wearing the Astrostetics standard sweater. This is the standard design. All right, so make sure y'all pick it up right now because y'all gonna love it, and I know y'all enjoy how it look. So everybody, right now we have a full moon in the beautiful sign of Capricorn. Let's open up a let's open up Astrostetics and see what the full moon is about. So Capricorn is the 10th sign, and it deals with discipline. It deals with work, building, time, and getting serious. So let's pause it right there. When we're dealing with the moon, we're dealing with emotions. And we're in the zodiac sign of Cancer, the 4th sign. So let's also get into what a full moon is. A full moon happens when the sun, the earth, and the moon are in alignment. However, the sun and the moon are across from each other, and the earth is in between. Now, because of this, when the full moon is when the moon is directly across from the sun, it's like when you take a light, like for example, this light right here. Even though this light is at an angle from me, of course it's making me look handsome. You know what I mean? I'm always handsome, but you need good lighting. But if I was to take this light and put it directly in front of me, you see what I'm saying? You see how we making it work in real time? You see how the more I put the light in front of me, it's getting brighter? And I'm looking handsomer and handsomer? I'm looking handsomer and handsomer? This is the full moon. All right? But look, now, when I take the light and I'm still handsome. Excuse the sound. Now, when I take the light and I put it back, right? You see how now now it's a half moon legs, right? Now you see how depending on the angle of light, this is how the luminosity of what something will look like. Now remember that what separates planets from stars is that stars can undergo nuclear fusion, right? Or they can synthesize hydrogen and helium, and out of this we get stars. Now planets don't do that. I'm not sure, maybe you might have some moons in the cosmos that may be, I guess, radioactive. So maybe some moons might have the geological compounds to create I don't even know if radioactivity and if nuclear activity is the same thing. I'm like, I'll save that for the chemistry majors. But from what I understand, stars can process nuclear fusion and planets don't. And moons, I'm not sure if they can process nuclear fusion. So when we're dealing with the moon, when the sun and the moon, right, are across from each other, as we just demonstrated, right, the light, please excuse that sound. The light, we see it as we look at the moon looks brighter because it's directly across from the sun. And I know that was an excellent example. And I just want to make this thing as real as possible for you because it's time to get serious. Now, no pun intended, I'm not talking about the star because Sirius is located in a tropical aspect in Canstar, right? And this is also something that we'll maybe get into tomorrow. But when we're dealing with Capricorn and Canstar, these signs are opposites. So Canstar deals with defending things, nurturing, protecting, taking care of things. Canstar is the home, right? Emotional values, fortitude, solidity, or solidarity as well, right? Because there's a part of Canstar that does deal with peace in the home. Canstar is really all about family. So on a real astronomical aspect. Capricorn Can-Star is all about protecting and having harmony and stability in the home life. All right. And Capricorn is also about that as well. But from what I realize, Capricorn is more outgoing. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And when I say outgoing, both of these signs are feminine, right? Capricorn, as that might be hard to believe, Capricorn is a feminine sign, but Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Capricorn loves when you go direct. And this is something that we'll get more into when I do read a beautiful excerpt out of this beautiful book, Astrostetics. This beautiful book, Astrostetics, #1 book. But however, when it come to the sign Can-Star now, Can-Star is doesn't like Mars, or Mars doesn't like being in Can-Star, right? Because now when you put Mars in Can-Star, you're dealing with that harmony that we were just speaking about in the home. It gets a bit disrupted, right? Because Mars is about activity. Now, you got these interesting ways where you could have a home gym, but you'll notice, you'll be like, yo, why even famous people still be going to the gyms and they could just have gyms in their house? It's like, I don't know, maybe you got to separate. Capricorn is fitness, right? So it literally makes sense to leave your home and to kind of go to work, because Capricorn also deals with work and it deals with business. So you see, Capricorn is kind of like the suits, right? When you thinking like zodiacally, if we was to conceptualize some of these things and put them in a symbological prototypes that we can all relate with, Capricorn would be like your suits. Capricorn would be the executive, right? The one that's getting everybody ready to be the executives, get serious about where they're going in life. And Capricorn is also one of the cardinal signs, right? Hey, yo, shout out to Shalamada Zero. I hope you feeling amazing today. All right. So y'all, full moon in Capricorn, right? Now also, we just kind of went into a little bit of what will be going on with Mars in Can-Star and Capricorn. Now the moon, as we mentioned in the last video, the moon governs Can-Star. So when you put the moon in Capricorn, the moon is a bit uncomfortable in Capricorn as well, right? Because now the moon has to get a bit restrictive. There's this element of control involved. The moon changes signs every 2.5 to 2.9 days. So the moon is very fast. The moon is the fastest body in our solar system. We have the moon, then we have Venus, then we have the sun, then we have Mars, then we have Jupiter, then we have Saturn, then we have the outer planets, and then you also have the north and the south node. You can factor those in as planets as well, because they're equally just as important. But now when we're dealing with Capricorn, right? This is all about being responsible. So this is why when it comes to getting on the suit, now, yeah, even though I'm wearing a very beautiful hoodie that all of you guys should check out, like, we still serious right now. We getting serious for business. The moon in Capricorn, that's what it can deal with. Capricorn is also governed by Saturn. So with Capricorn being governed by Saturn, this deals with time. This deals with patience. This deals with work. And when you're working, you got to be a bit practical. You got to be serious about how you're approaching business. And this is also why Mars loves Capricorn. And it's so interesting when you think about it. Like, fire and earth don't naturally go together, right? I mean, all elements kind of can work together realistically, but Mars governs Aries, which is a fire sign. Aries and Capricorn, this is like a kind of like a fictitious relationship to a degree, and its ruler does best in Capricorn. And this is why sometimes I think like astronomy and astrology is so interesting, because it's like sometimes it's almost like it doesn't make sense, but it definitely does, right? So this full moon is dealing with emotional responsibility. It's dealing with controlling your emotions. Now, people might think when we talking about control, right? Control kind of means to keep an account of. When you're controlling something, you're regulating, I don't know, it's like you're regulating your roles, right? You're keeping a copy of something. You're regulating, you're checking things, balancing them out. Capricorn also deals with judges. It also deals with legislature and the judicial aspect of things. When it comes to our main branches of government, the judicial branch, executive branch, and our legislatory branch, these things are all kind of Capricornian. When we're talking about the system, that is something that is kind of Capricornian. So y'all, let me open up a beautiful copy of Astrostetics. This is the book that y'all all love, that y'all can get on the easycomplex.com, Barnes and Nobles, and Amazon. Let me open this beautiful book up to page 132, and let's continue what we was reading about 10 minutes ago. Capricorn also deals with time, seriousness, hard work. Remember, Capricorn is symbolized by the goat. Aries is the ram. Capricorn is the goat, right? Now, when we're dealing with Capricorn, this is the mountain goat and the sea goat. Now, there's multiple reasons for this, but just know when we're dealing with Capricorn, we're also dealing with status, and we're dealing with density, all right? So now, when we deal with this, another key word for Capricorn is also the top. Because remember, when it comes to status and even things like business, there's things like hierarchy, right? There's always some type of archy or hierarchy or or uh, y'all know the archies. Y'all know the archies that I'm talking about. Y'all don't know the archies that I'm talking about. All the archies deal with control. The archies, whether it's about, and look, y'all, when we thinking about finances and the government, y'all, there's nothing wrong with government, kind of. You know, it's like when it comes to taxes, sanitation, setting up electricity, all of these things have to be kind of overseen by someone or kind of like a group of people. And you know, you want to make sure that society, everything is going smooth. You know, not everybody, I don't know if you could find me one society where everybody agreed. You know, maybe at times, like if things was getting crazy, they would maybe have a dictatorship for a few months and then change it back. I don't know, but not everybody didn't always agree, right? So there's a side when it comes to the quote unquote system that does deal with understanding different points of view. And this is why Capricorn is really about different perspectives, but on the highest level. And this is what makes Capricorn so great and understanding in business and also with how they control themselves, right? Now, one of the key words for Capricorn is control. When you controlling something, you regulating it. But this is also to when you have a routine, right? If you just waking up at egregious times of the day, you gonna be like, yo, like I need to regulate this thing. Whenever you wanna get serious about something, be serious about your commitment. Get recognized for your commitment and your dedication to something. This is like when I say Instagram, stop playing with my likes. Instagram, stop playing with my engagements. We're making content. We not repeating and regurgitating the same content that y'all been seeing for years. Sometimes we put hours into this stuff, intricate pieces, only for Instagram. And y'all, their algorithm is messed up. Let's make no doubt about it. It doesn't work properly all the time. It's very glitchy, even when you pay for ads. So I need them to fix that. Because when it comes to us presenting content, right? And I'm I'm a bit emotional about this, because you spend 3-4 hours on something and then you release it, and then it's like they're regulating it for no reason. So when it comes to even algorithms are a bit systematic. They're ran by systems, mathematical logarithms. And of course, when it comes to these variables, we're dealing with processing power. Now, there's an interesting relationship with these with Capricornian things and processing power, because this is what Capricorn may tend to invest in, the efficiency. And this is essentially what we're talking about. When we're talking about astronomy and astrology, right now we're getting into the real astrological side. And even when we get into this side, we're making perfect sense. Astronomically, when we deal with Capricorn, we could say that Capricorn is the governor of the South. Capricorn deals with the highest southern point that astrologically we may interpret as the midpoint or the medium coeli. So astronomically, when people say it, when astrologers say that Capricorn is the top of the chart, I don't want to say that they're wrong, but that is not correct. If you actually look at the sky under the influence of Capricorn being the top of the chart, let me know how that works out for you. And what I'm saying is that a lot of astrologers don't specify these kinds of things. Like, we get a lot of kind of pseudo astrology, right? A lot of this stuff is very pseudo, all right? And because of this, that's why the content that we bring in, everybody has to 100% understand that this stuff is amazing. And there's a whole lot of fake stuff going on out there. So when we have this quote unquote system regulating reach, but meanwhile, all of this fakes, this is how you know it's glitchy. And this is why when it comes to efficiency, that has to be overseen. When it comes to the efficiency of things, because this Capricorn also deals with time, right? When time, efficiency, you looking at the time and you like, dang, things been inefficient for so long. Dang, things been efficient for so long. Dang, things been efficient for so long. After a while, things begin to get unfair. And it doesn't matter with any system that you're dealing with. When efficiencies aren't fixed, these things can definitely become issues, and they can almost appear as injustices. Now, that might be a stretch when we're putting it in the context of Instagram reach and engagement. But when we expand this and we apply it to things like culture, people getting marginalized, sometimes it might not even be that people are getting marginalized. It could just be that there are certain aspects of the overall system that are inefficient. And y'all, right now, I'm just speaking in astronomical, astrological terms. And however you choose to kind of imagine this through your personal, beautiful domain of reality is all up to you. All right? Because I understand that this stuff, it could be some stuff that you never heard before. Or maybe you just never heard somebody give it to you like this. All right? But that's why we all having fun here. And y'all, make sure that y'all pick up Astrostetics. All right? This is the hottest book, and I know y'all love it because everything that I'm saying is in this book. All right? So let me continue because I know y'all love this. So Capricorn, it also deals with climbing. It also deals with responsibility. And y'all, right now, I'm reading page 132 out of Astrostetics. I'm still on page 132. Make sure you get on page 132. So, y'all, when it comes to things like control, regulation, authority, This is also what authorities do. Authorities control and regulate. Now, when it comes from a perspective of relatability, you might not like people regulating you, right? But, excuse me, you might not like regulating others. Now, this is important because you're supposed to regulate yourself. Is there anything wrong with regulating yourself, practicing self-control? Now, when it comes to emotional things, yes, having control over your emotions, over how you feel about things, over your perspective, this influences the practicality of how you approach things at large. So your emotional response to things, this is gonna personally influence how you approach it, because this is gonna influence your perspective. This is gonna approach your obviously your authority on the particular situation that you're dealing with. Because remember that we're still talking about the moon. So when you put the moon in Capricorn, the moon may not like having to kind of elaborate herself and kind of control herself and kind of reflect as she's orbiting very beautifully at a fast speed around our cosmos, right? She might not want to slow down for a second to control an account, but this is something that is very necessary. And here we could see that Capricorn necessarily isn't really about control. It's not about stopping things. It's about being responsible. It's really about management. And that's why with this Capricorn full moon, the title of this beautiful, highly engaging video that a lot of people will watch is that it's about emotional maturity. It's about being emotionally mature, being emotionally mature with your family, with your friends, with how you make people feel, because you essentially have a duty to be responsible. And this is why when we kind of pondered on the peculiar PowerPoint of Mongol, I mean like of Mars that we mentioned earlier, it's very peculiar that it would be in Markov, right? It's very peculiar that it would be in this 10th sign that we would call, I meant Capricorn, right? So this is 100% dope. And then we also shedded some light a little bit on why, not just Instagram in general, but anything that is, I guess, inefficient over a long duration of time, it becomes problematic. Hey yo, y'all saw how my hat was just tilted like the earth a little bit? And I know, well, y'all know when we open up this video, right? Shows you, yeah, that example that I showed y'all like was right off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, the only time in these videos that I ever read anything is when I'm looking at this beautiful book. All right, so this book is called Astrostetics. Any other time, I'm making eye contact with you. All right, straight eye contact, so you know that this is a real thing. You get what I'm saying? So y'all, Capricorn, it deals with the career, manifestation, sustainability. And this is also why we was talking about efficiency. The 10th house or midheaven also corresponds with Capricorn. This is the house of grand achievements, triumph over your ambitious desires. This equals achievement. So while all the earth signs kind of deal with achievement, and some may kind of argue that Virgo might be the one that particularly deals with achievement, Capricorn is also about the grand scale. Now, Capricorn, and this is what I'm saying, y'all, let's get a bit astronomical here, right? The brightest star in Capricorn is Deneb al-Jedi, right? And this is the name of the star. It's called Deneb al-Jedi, right? Now, Deneb al-Jedi or al-Jedi, you know, shout out to the legendary astronomers that came up with these beautiful names, right? Shout out to y'all always. Um, that's the prime star in Capricorn. Now, I'm not sure if it's Capricorn's alpha star, but I do think that it's its prime star. You know, it's called the Nebal Jedi. When the sun is in Capricorn, right? When the sun is by the tropics of Capricorn, it moves at its fastest speed. All right. So this is important to know. And this is because the sun is closer to the earth. All right. So the sun, when it's in Capricorn, is closest to the earth. And when the sun is in Cancer, it's farthest away from the earth. And remember, we spoke about all of this when we was talking about the tilt. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes like it could just like throw you off in a moment how like phenomenal the universe is in just real time. Y'all get what I'm saying? But yo, everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. All right, you know, if I finish this thing in time, I'll come back and I'll give y'all another one. All right, and I hope y'all enjoyed this as usual. And y'all know y'all amazing. And I want y'all to have a great, fantastic day and happy full moon and enjoy. All right, peace, everybody. Yeah.